At our divorce hearing, my wife walked in 7 months pregnant and told the judge I was refusing to support our miracle baby after years of her accepting my vasectomy. Then I stood up and showed my biannual sterility test results, the last one taken 3 weeks ago. My wife, Natalie, knew about my vasectomy before we even started dating. I got it at 28 after my second child was born in my first marriage. When I met Natalie at 34, I was upfront on our second date. I'd had a permanent procedure, and more children weren't happening. That's fine, she'd said, smiling warmly. I've never felt a strong pull toward motherhood anyway. I'd rather travel and build our life together. We married in March 2019 after a year of dating. For the first 8 months, things were exactly as she'd promised. Then her sister Ashley announced her pregnancy on Thanksgiving, and I watched something shift in Natalie's expression. 2 weeks later, I found a folder on our shared laptop labeled Reversal Research. It contained dozens of saved articles about vasectomy reversals, success rates, and financing options. There were screenshots of forum posts from women whose husbands had changed their minds. When I confronted her, she exploded. "You're so selfish. You already got to be a father. What about what I want?" I reminded her this wasn't new information. She'd known for 3 years. She stormed out and stayed at Ashley's for 4 days. She came back apologetic. "I'm sorry. It was just seeing Ashley so happy. I got caught up in it. I don't actually want to change our life, but my vasectomy doctor had always recommended biannual testing to ensure continued sterility. I'd been lax about testing, but after finding that folder, I scheduled one immediately. Results: 0 sperm count. 3 months later, Natalie became obsessed with my work schedule. She'd ask specific questions about which days I was traveling, which nights I had late meetings. She started insisting I go out more with friends. In June 2020, her phone buzzed while she was in the shower. The message preview from Vincent H. said, "Can't wait until he's gone next week. Miss touching you." Vincent was our neighbor from 3 houses down. I opened the messages and discovered they'd been seeing each other since February, right after the argument about vasectomy research. The messages were explicit. They'd been meeting at hotels during my business trips. Vincent had texted, "So he still thinks he's shooting blanks?" Perfect cover. I took screenshots of everything and filed for divorce the next morning. 6 months into proceedings came the hearing for spousal support. That's when Natalie walked into the courtroom massively pregnant, maybe 7 or 8 months, wearing a maternity dress that emphasized every curve. She met my stare with defiant eye contact, one hand protectively on her belly. Her lawyer opened by addressing what he called the changed circumstances. He argued that Natalie had believed in good faith, that my vasectomy had spontaneously reversed, and that I was now cruelly abandoning her during her high-risk pregnancy. Natalie took the stand, her voice shaking. He kept saying vasectomies were permanent, but I did research. They can reverse naturally. When I got pregnant, I thought it was our miracle. Her lawyer continued, "Mr. Foster has refused to support his pregnant wife and avoided every prenatal appointment, showing complete disregard for his unborn child's welfare." The judge looked at me with clear disapproval. "Mr. Foster, is there a reason you haven't attended any medical appointments for your wife's pregnancy?" Before I could answer, her lawyer added that I'd reacted to the pregnancy news by immediately filing for divorce. Judge Martinez frowned at me. "This is quite concerning, Mr. Foster." I stood up slowly. "Your Honor, I'd like to submit my medical records." I pulled out my file. "I've had biannual sterility testing since my vasectomy in 2016. Every test has shown 0 sperm count. The most recent test was performed 3 weeks ago at Riverside Medical Center. Results: 0 viable sperm. It is medically impossible for me to have fathered that child." The courtroom went dead silent. Natalie's expression transformed from righteous victimhood to pure panic in seconds. "I have 8 years of consecutive test results here," I continued, handing the file to the judge. "Every single one confirms complete sterility." Judge Martinez examined the documents, test dates, lab results, doctor signatures. "Mrs. Foster, did you know your husband was continuing to test his sterility?" Natalie stood shakily. I thought he was lying about the tests." "You thought you could claim a spontaneous reversal," Judge Martinez said flatly. "Counselor, your client has attempted to defraud this court. This is perjury." Her lawyer withdrew from her case within the hour. Judge Martinez granted an expedited divorce with prejudice. Natalie received no spousal support due to attempted fraud. I kept the house. Vincent's wife found out about the affair and the matching pregnancy timeline. He's now paying child support for a kid that destroyed his marriage. Natalie is living with her sister Ashley, who stopped speaking to her after learning about the fraud.